You find out what your life is worth the first time you get in the water without a cage. It is not much. A diver's wage, a little tip money, and a life insurance policy the company quietly hopes it never has to use. This is what they pay you to float in the open ocean and hand-deliver lunch to the most efficient predators evolution ever built. No cage, no weapon. Your entire job all day is very simple. Don't bleed. And here's the first thing nobody tells you. The shark does not want to eat you. It really doesn't. You are too skinny, too bony, and nothing like what is on its menu. Statistically, you are the most disappointing lunch in the entire ocean. The problem is that it only figures that out after the first bite. And most of the time a shark feeder gets hurt, the shark is not the one who messed up. You are. So let me show you how this job actually works. Level by level. Shark by shark. And exactly where people die. But before we get in the water, do me one quick favor. If you love the ocean and the things that hide in it, tap that like button and hit subscribe right now. It takes 1 second and it's the one thing that keeps this channel alive. Done? Good. Now put your regulator in. We're going under. Level 1. The nurse shark. This is the shark they let the new person feed, which should tell you exactly how dangerous it is. A nurse shark is basically a wet vacuum cleaner with fins. It lies on the bottom all day. It sucks up its food instead of biting it, and its idea of aggression is slowly swimming away from you. You could take a nap on one. People basically do, so on your first day, they hand you a piece of fish. They point at the big brown lump on the sand and they say, "Go on," and you do, and nothing happens. And you climb back on the boat absolutely convinced that everyone who is afraid of sharks is a coward. This is the most dangerous moment of your entire career, not because of the nurse shark. Because of what it just did to your brain. It just taught you that this is easy. Remember that feeling. It is the thing that is eventually going to try to kill you. Nurse sharks do bite, by the way, but almost always because some genius grabbed its tail. If you get bitten by a nurse shark, that is not a shark attack. That is a diagnosis. Level 2, the reef shark. Now it gets interesting because now there is more than one. Reef sharks show up in groups. They are fast, they are curious, and they are just big enough to take you seriously. This is where you learn the actual rules of the job, and the first rule is the one that keeps you alive. You always know where every shark is. Always. The one in front of you is not the problem. The one in front of you is polite. It is the one behind you, the one you lost track of for 4 seconds that turns a normal Tuesday into an insurance claim. Reef sharks also teach you about the feed frenzy. You put enough food in the water. You get enough excited sharks in one place and something in them flips. They stop being individual animals and start being a mob. The water fills with movement and blood and noise, and their beautiful, precise senses turn to static. In a frenzy, a shark will bite anything. A rock, a camera, a GoPro on a stick. Your hand because it happened to be next to the fish. It is nothing personal. That is almost worse. This is also where you learn that blood in the water is not the villain the movies made it out to be. A shark can smell it, sure, but a little blood does not flip the switch on its own. What flips the switch is everything at once. Blood and low visibility and 100 competing smells and noise and a dozen excited animals feeding off each other's panic. Sharks are not mindless. They are precise. The frenzy is the one situation where you take that precision away from them, and you are standing in the middle of it holding a bucket. Level 3, the bull shark. Okay, now we are at the job that pays, and the reason it pays is standing right in front of you with a body like a fire hydrant. The bull shark is one of the 3 sharks that hurt the most people on Earth, and it earned that spot honestly. It is thick, it is strong, it is moody. In a way the other sharks are not. And here's a fun fact they left off the tourism brochure. In places where people feed bull sharks regularly, like Fiji, the shark population has exploded. One study found the local bull sharks multiplied 6-fold in 7 years because free food is free food. You are not just feeding wild animals. You are training them, teaching them a lesson, that humans mean food, that the sound of your boat means dinner is served. You are creating your own regulars. And the whole time you are hand-feeding a bull shark, you are aware in the back of your skull that this animal can remove your arm as a single clean unit, faster than your brain can send the signal. To be scared. The feeders who work with bulls are not braver than you. They are just very, very good. at counting sharks. The day they lose count is the day it ends. Level 4, the tiger shark. If the bull shark is moody, the tiger shark is just enormous, and it has one personality trait that makes it uniquely terrifying to feed. It eats everything. That is not an exaggeration. People have cut open tiger sharks and found license plates, tires, a suit of armor, an actual chicken coop. The tiger shark is not a picky hunter that might mistake you for a seal. It is a walking garbage disposal that has already decided that everything is potentially food, and it would like to test that theory on you, gently, with its teeth, just to be sure. It is not trying to be scary. It genuinely cannot tell the difference between a fish, a turtle, a metal drum, and you until it has had a taste. You are to a tiger shark an unopened package, a 4.5-meter tiger shark. Cruising toward you does not rush, it does not panic. It comes in slow and calm and confident, and it looks at you the way you look at a vending machine. Feeding a tiger is a job for people with decades of experience because it requires the one skill that is hardest to fake. You cannot flinch, and you cannot get comfortable at the same time for hours. Because a tiger shark can read hesitation, and it can read arrogance, and both of them get you bitten. Level 5, the great white. And this is where the job basically ends because almost nobody hand feeds a great white shark with no cage, and the ones who do are a tiny handful of people the rest of the shark world considers, either legends or lunatics. This is the biggest predatory fish alive, 5-6 meters, 2 tons, a bite force that turns bone into gravel. Everything you learned on the way up here, all your rules, all your shark counting, all your calm, it still applies, except now every single mistake is your last one. There is no small bite from a great white. There is no warning nip. There is no oops. People at this level do not talk about being brave. They talk about respect and distance and reading the animal and knowing the exact second to end the dive and get out. Because the great white is not moody like a bull, and it is not a garbage can like a tiger. It is simply the best there has ever been at this. And it has been the best for a very long time, so now you know the levels. And here is the part that ties the whole job together, the thing every single one of these sharks has been trying to teach you since level 1. In 54 shark bites studied over 22 years, nearly half were connected to feeding operations. And in a huge number of those, the person bitten was the feeder, not a tourist, not a swimmer, the professional, the expert, the one who had done it 1,000 times. Because the shark is the one thing in this entire story that is completely honest. A bull shark is a bull shark every single day. A tiger shark never once pretends to be anything other than a tiger shark. They do not have good days and bad days. They do not get lazy. They do not get cocky. The only variable in this job, the only thing that actually changes, the only thing that ever really goes wrong, is the person holding the fish. You do not get bitten because the shark turned evil. You get bitten because you got comfortable, because you looked away. Because somewhere back on level 1, feeding that sleepy vacuum cleaner on the sand, a little voice told you that this was easy, and you believed it. The shark did not forget what it was. You did. And that is the part that should actually scare you, because it means the danger in this job was never really swimming around you in the water. It was riding along inside your own head the whole time, getting a little louder, a little more confident, with every easy dive that went fine. So would you take the job? Because they are hiring, the pay is fine, the sunsets are incredible, and the only real requirement is that you never ever, for one single second, get comfortable. And if you made it all the way to the bottom with me, then you are exactly the kind of person this channel was made for. So if this one got you, drop a like, subscribe, and tell me down in the comments. Which level would you actually get in the water for? Nurse sharking out? Or are you swimming with the great whites? Be honest. The ocean is waiting. And so am I.